name's Jason Vallotton, and my mom is Kathy Vallotton. And if you know my mom, then you know that she is the best woman in the world. What I love about my mom is her faithfulness, her unwavering devotion to her family.
And my name's Edie.
What's your name?
I am not.
His name's Liam.
My favorite thing about my grandma is that she always makes the best stuff. And she lets us have some cookies when we're done baking stuff.
What do you like about Grandma?
She all cookie. Yeah.
You get all the cookies? Yeah. She definitely has a knack for gifts, all kinds of gifts. Some of them, are iffy. Temu is really Mom's favorite thing. One year for Christmas, she got us all these headbands with a ball attached to them. And the kids were all trying to, do that. Do you remember that headband with the ball? It was wild. Mom, thank you so much for that gift. It truly was the gift that did not quit giving. Oh, let's crown the superpower.
A shooting.
Shooting? She does have a shooting superpower. She once shot an elk from 543 yards away and killed it. So you're right, buddy. She has a shooting superpower.
Oh, my thing, the adorable hugs that she gives people when I come in the door.
And she's always there to make a beautiful, good time out of any season in life. My mom is the best mom in the world. I love you, Mom. We love you, Mom.
We love you, Grandma.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Mwah.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Wow. Just hearing it out of the mouth of babes just kind of wrecks you. Well, happy Mother's Day, moms. I was thinking, what would have happened if God chose to have men carry the children? For just 1 week. What would life be like? We'll never know. No. Wow, I get to speak in front of the big guns tonight. Thank you guys both for coming. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to share a little bit about the Vallotton home when my kids were younger. Most of you probably already know that Kris and I started dating when I was a baby. Okay, a child. Literally, I was 12. We got engaged when we were 13, when I was 13, and married at 17. And we were kids having kids. We had no idea what we were doing, no idea at all. But we gave it our all, and our kids went everywhere we went. Nowadays they have these things they call schedules that they have the kids on. We didn't know what a schedule was. Our kids were raised on the front pew, or on the pews, on the floor in front of the pews. And things were caught instead of taught. The presence of God was all around them all the time, and it was caught and not taught. So, I ended up having all my kids by the time I was 22. So it was quite a journey and quite a learning process. And it was everything that we had ever dreamed about having, a little house in the country. It was like Little House on the Prairie, everything. It was just so perfect. And then as we went through life, we started getting into business, and things started getting a little tight. Now, I know you guys have probably never been through anything like that before. So as a mom, you do what you can to make things good for your kids, because we all want to have our kids have a good time. We don't want them to be feeling like they're in lack. That's when we learn most of our lessons, is when we're in lack instead of when we're in abundance. So we got into business, and life wasn't quite the way I had imagined it on Little House on the Prairie. I mean, they always had things taken care of every day. They had food on the table, their clothes were washed, and they had milk to drink. Well, we started getting in tight times, and as a mom, you never want your kids to feel like there's negative pressure around the house. I always wanted my kids to feel stable, secure, and loved. And so I thought, what could I possibly do in this situation to help things out? Kris was working insane hours. He was working 12, 14 hours a day, just trying to make things meet. And I thought, well, I could cut coupons, but I can only do that for so long. I could make different meals and try to make things stretch. And that could only last so long. And moms, you probably are aware that sometimes when you're a stay-at-home mom, you think that your job isn't important. But let me tell you, your job is the most important job of anybody in the world, a mom. Don't ever discount yourself because you're a stay-at-home mom. I bless you, I bless you, I bless you, I bless you, because that is the heart. I would change that job. Well, I wouldn't change the job. But as far as the hours and the patience that you have to have in order to do that job, raising your children, that takes a superwoman to do something like that. So I thought, there's got to be something that I can do during this time at home. And so I decided that we were going to go camping. And so I thought, well, what do you do when you're camping? Well, you light a fire, you cook out on a wood stove, you have hurricane lanterns, you have all this kind of stuff. And I thought, living in Weaverville, we were equipped with those kind of things. We did have hurricane lanterns, and we did use them. We did cook on the wood stove. We had wood heat. And so I told the kids one day, because I had been crying the whole night before, just feeling like, oh, I'm in this tight time and I don't want to be here. God, there's got to be something that I could do. And so for weeks, I would shut the main breaker of the house off when Kris would leave to go to work. I'd crank up the stove, and then the kids were at home. They were little. Jason was probably, my grandkids' age. And so I decided we're going to make a fort. How many of you made forts with your kids? Yeah. So we're pulling the furniture into the center of the room, getting all the sheets and throwing them over the couches. And we had these little tents going. And then, of course, there was no electricity because I cut the power. And I decided that, well, it's going to be kind of cold. So we had stoked up the fire. We made hot chocolate on the stove. I had a few marshmallows. We threw them in there. We roasted hot dogs. We had so much fun camping in our house. Well, one day, Kris decided that he was going to surprise us, and he came home early. I'm like, oh no, Dad's coming home. And so he comes up the steps, and he's like, what are you? He opens the door, and he goes, what's wrong? What's wrong? Because all the electricity was off. I'm like, oh, nothing. And he goes, what is wrong? I'm like, oh, nothing, as I'm walking away from him. And I go out to the front of the breaker, and I flip the breaker on, and all the lights come back on. And he's like, he holds me by the shoulders. He says, what are you doing? And I said, we're camping. And he said, you're what? And I said, we're camping. In tough times, you do things that are fun. And it didn't cost anything. And look at the kids, they're having so much fun. And just then, 3 little heads pop out from the tent saying, Daddy, Daddy, come camping with us. And he's like, what in the world? And he goes, how long have you been doing this? And I said, well, for a little while. And he said, how long have you been doing this? And I said, well, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. And he said, why would you do something like this? And I said, because we're building memories. I want my kids to learn that even in tough times, we make the decision to either complain or rejoice. See, I wanted my kids to learn that there's another option. There's another alternative to the situation that we were living in. We could have complained. That wouldn't have been very much fun. Or we could have went camping. That was a lot of fun. Especially when it would snow outside and we were gathering sticks. Oh my gosh, they would think that they'd have these hunts that were so much fun because they got to gather wood and bring it in, dry it off. My kids will always have memories because that's something that I wanted to make for them. We didn't always have very much, but what we did have was amazing because Jesus was in the center of everything that we had, and everything that we did, everything. It was pretty embarrassing times, but you know what? I learned to live with my head held high, thinking, I just overcame something today. I'm an overcomer. I'm an overcomer. I'm not a give in to this. I'm an overcomer. Moms, making memories is the best thing that you can give to your kids. You make good times great and hard times better. Your money will always come and go, but the memories that you make with your family and friends will be remembered for the years to come. I can remember living with the Johnsons for, it was 7 or 8 months. We were broker than broke, but it was a happy time. It was so fun. One of the things that Benny and I used to do was we'd trade off doing the washing, and at the end of the day, we would see how much money we would find in the dryer. And we'd take the kids and we'd walk down to a little ice cream place and get them a 25-cent ice cream cone and just talk and have fun and watch the kids play. Or we'd go pick blackberries, watching out for the rattlesnakes. Come back and bake a pie. Didn't cost anything. We just made memories. And those are the things that I think about to this day all the time, are the things that we're doing to build memories for our family and for our kids. Now for my kids, my grandkids, and my great-grandkids. I want to leave an inheritance to them. I wrote something that I wanted to read to you. Today, I want to honor the incredible women who wear the title of mother with grace, strength, and unwavering love. A mother is a guiding light. She illuminates our paths with wisdom and warmth. She is the gentle hand that nurtures us in our earliest days, the fierce protector who stands by us through life's storms, and an unwavering support of our dreams. Many times, Mom, our sacrifices go unnoticed. We juggle countless responsibilities, often putting our own needs aside just to ensure the happiness and well-being of our family. That's just what moms do. My joy has always come from serving others. What some people call exhausting, I call invigorating. Even when my kids were young, I can't tell you how many sleepless nights I had comforting one of my babies because only mommy would do. Love wins every time. But love has stolen my heart over and over again. In the good times and in the bad, Jesus has always been by my side. He's my solid rock and my firm foundation. He's been there beside you too. You know that big S that you wear on your chest? That doesn't happen by accident. The Bible says that he will never leave me or forsake me. And during all of my laughter and through so many of my tears, He's always guided me through every situation. So when you feel weak, remember he's right by your side. When you don't think you can move another muscle, he's your biggest cheerleader. When you get into a spot where life feels like you're going under for the 5th time this week, take a look at what the Lord says about you. You are tenacious. Your perseverance is remarkable. As a mom, you constantly push through obstacles and unwavering commitment to your goals. You're courageous. Moms often take bold steps, stand up to what they think is just, even when faced with opposition or adversity. You can do this. You're radiant. People see the love of Jesus that shines through. I lost my place. People see the love of Jesus that shines brightly to all those who you come in contact with, inspiring positivity and hope. You're unstoppable. Mom, once you set your sight on a goal, you exhibit an unwavering drive to help your children pursue their dreams and their desires. You are fierce. With a spirit that is unyielding, as a mom, you will protect your family at all costs. You're inspiring. Moms believe in their kids. We believe that all things are possible with God and encourage our families to go where no child has ever gone before. Moms, you're an architect of character, teaching us values of kindness, empathy, and resilience. With every hug, every word of encouragement, you instill in us the confidence to pursue our passions and overcome obstacles. Your laughter brings joy to our lives, while your tears remind us of the depth of your love. As a mom myself, I celebrate not just the role that you play, but the remarkable individuals you are. You are the heart of the family, the keeper of traditions, and the source of unconditional love. Each moment shared, each lesson taught, and every story told weaves an unbreakable bond that shapes who we are. To all moms, whether near or far, biological or chosen, your impact is profound and everlasting, and today we celebrate you.